Got it on the DenverChannel.com, Orange and Blue Review. We have the Pick'em contest. Right now, the leader, Jay Crybaby, he was unseeded this week. He was the leader last week, but he's now tied for second with 4 other players. Thousands of you are playing the challenge across the nation. None of our local Colorado players are in the lead nationally. Our current local leader has made 33 correct picks out of 47 games. Dar10 is its name. I don't know if it's a male or female. So when it's a dog and you don't know if it, you just call it an it. So Dar10 has jumped into the lead with 14 correct picks this week. That was great. Mitch made 11 correct picks so far this week. I have 9. Embarrassed to say. So you can nitpick about my game all you want. No running game here. Okay. Defense gassed at the end. Conservative play calling right here on the Pick'ems. It's awful. But 7 News giving away a jersey to the winner at the end of this thing, and also for every individual week. Eric, so there's a grand prize at the end of the season. Are you involved in the Pick'em on the DenverChannel.com?
No. I don't know what's going on here.
It's probably lucky that you're not, because you probably wouldn't be embarrassed to talk about how bad you're doing. So.
Yeah, I know. It would probably be 0 or something crazy. Yeah. Oh, we have a caller. Darren Copeland, 24/7 News.
Darren is back here.
He's talking about Wes, his return. I think it was a good return, Darren.
Yeah, it sure was, and when you look at the slot receiver in general, that is kind of the one Achilles heel for the Seattle Seahawks on defense. Last week, Eddie Royal, former Bronco Eddie Royal, had 6 catches against him in the win. And the other thing that it does is when you have that slot receiver that can come in late and get that underneath ball, it allows a tight end, someone like, say, Jacob Tamme, to score a touchdown late in the game to get the Broncos almost back to even.
Well, yeah, I mean, Wes came in with 1 full week of practice, got reinstated. So Wednesday, when they started preparing for the Seahawks, he was back in action. But, man, Peyton went to him 9 times. He caught 6 passes, 60 yards. He's very important to this team, especially with Demaryius Thomas struggling. We haven't talked about that, but DT is off to an extremely slow start when you look at the precedent he set last year. I mean, he caught 3 passes for 17 yards. One of them got knocked out of his hands. And they actually, I think, called it a fumble and then overturned the call saying it was an incomplete pass. So with DT struggling, minus the beautiful catch on the 2-point conversion,
there.
Wes and Emmanuel, until DT comes out and starts having his type of year, Darren, I mean, Wes is extremely important to this team.
Yeah, well, the other part about this is, of course, is that, because Demaryius Thomas has become such a key part of this Broncos offense, he's going to see a lot more double teams, so you not want to watch for that, and that's also what frees up Wes Welker. But if you want to look back at the Super Bowl, and I don't really want to look back as much as anyone else, Wes Welker was the key to the offense. If there was any offense, he did have 84 yards there, so him coming back just gives the offense a little bit more flexibility and some more options that they can use late in games.
I mean, how much can we count on him, though? I mean, 1 big hit, and he could be out again. When you're talking about wrapping a game plan around him, I mean, how much can we bank on that with him getting hurt so easily?
Well, I don't think you can game plan a player, getting hurt or try to avoid a guy getting a big hit. Wes actually took a huge hit on the interception that Peyton threw in the fourth quarter. Yep. He got hit. He got whacked down there, and he wanted a penalty. He was a defenseless guy. And I don't know who it was, but probably a safety, one of those massive safeties that the Seahawks had, hit Wes extremely hard. So I think you just go. I mean, there's no way to avoid an injury, and there's no way to go to go not half speed, but go to it at a speed where you're trying to avoid injury, because that's when you get hurt.
Yeah, definitely. And as a wise man once said, we are all day to day, so it doesn't matter. It could be anybody who could go down. So you just don't want to, plan for something that may or may not happen. You just roll with the punches and just assume that he's going to be fine.
But that is something that we do have to worry about. One more big hit to Wes Welker's head, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were thinking he should retire at the end of, when he got his latest concussion. Then it was said, dude, he's got to go. I mean, he's got to be done. He can't chance it, but he got cleared. He came back, caught 6 passes. So I think you're just going to see Wes and the Broncos go business as usual and not worry about another injury.
Well, and I got to tell you this: how can you not like Russell Wilson? After the game, Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson had kind words for Manning on Instagram. Quote, "What a battle today against one of the best of all time. True honor to play against you, Peyton." I love the guy, I have to admit.
Right.
I mean, he's frustrating when he's running around like that, but he's got a good head on his shoulders, I think.
Well, it's well documented how Russell's respect for Peyton from the Manning Passing Academy to the visit that Russell Wilson took here and talked to Peyton Manning, right? I mean, Russell Wilson admires this guy. You hate to say it's my hero, but he thinks Peyton Manning is the best quarterback ever. He said that many a times. And, I mean, Russell Wilson is never going to beat Peyton Manning. I mean, he's never going to have, 400 yards a game passing. But, 258 yards yesterday for Russell, 24-34, 2 touchdowns. He did have the pick. It was tipped up, and Chris Harris Jr. made the interception. We haven't talked about that. They got that.
Talib's the one who tipped it, right?
Yes,
it was
Talib tipped it.
Great play on the ball.
Right. I mean, so back to the defense, dude. I think they're better. But anyway, his rating, 99.9. He's never going to be with the highest rated passer, but the plays he can make with his legs, as we saw, and just his understanding of the game, when to run, when not.
Right.
When to hand it off, when to run himself, finding the open guy. His awareness on the run when he's scrambling and his accuracy on the run, he's great.
Right.
And you heard Chris Harris Jr. say it. Forget Andrew Luck. This is the best young quarterback in the NFL, straight from Chris Harris Jr.'s mouth. So. Right.
And Julius Thomas, he posted a game tweet as well. Here it is. Well, it wasn't what we set out to do, but couldn't be more proud and honored to be part of this team. #Broncos, #Broncos country.
Yep, and that brings us to the bye week and the Arizona Cardinals coming in.
They're good.
Well, they beat the Seahawks, last week.
Right.
In Arizona. And who's their quarterback, do you know?
Nope. See?
There you go.
And you guys know?
Who's their quarterback, Justin?
Oh, he's got to look.
Oh, you've got to look too.
No, I don't have to look.
Oh, he's putting on his microphone.
Drew Stanton.
Wow.
Another Michigan
Stanton.
State guy.
Right.
Wow.
But I mean, seriously, Drew Stanton, are you kidding me? Would you rather have Peyton Manning or Drew Stanton?
Right.
And he's 3-0, and they beat the Seahawks?
But
we didn't?
KC was 6-0 last year.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to look at it that way.
No,
too.
that's why I say we got to calm down into the bye week.
Right.
We can nitpick a laundry list of things they need to do better. Run the ball, play calling, the defense gets gassed at the end of games. You can go down the list, drops.
Bad ref calls.
Well, big picture, overall, into the bye week at 2-1. We've talked about this already. I'm not feeling bad about this team where it is. I am worried about the running game most of all, because when you look at Marshawn Lynch with 88 yards, hey, Russell Wilson had 40 yards, but the Seahawks run for 129 yards. I do not think in the NFL you can win the big game or make it all the way to the championship by averaging under 100 yards rushing. And if you get 36 yards against the defending champs and you still almost win, that says a lot about how good your passing game is and how good Peyton Manning is. But down the stretch, long run, 2 games against the Chargers coming, Patriots in New England.
It's a tough schedule.
You get to the playoffs, you get to the big game. If you get 36 yards rushing, I don't think you can survive like that in the NFL. That's something that has to be fixed long term.
So I got a big question for you. This is way in the future. But would we rather see the Seahawks maybe get upset in the playoffs? So we're just going to act like we're going to the bowl, okay?
All right.
Would we rather see the Seahawks just get upset, like a loss to San Diego, and play somebody else? Do we really want to see them again?
Well, I mean, personally, no.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm on the
and
same
not that they're
page.
going to beat us in the Super Bowl again, but I'm just over it.
Right.
Seahawks pounded us in the Super Bowl. We played them again in the regular season. To play them again in the next Super Bowl, okay, maybe fans want to get their revenge, or maybe I'd rather see somebody else, to be honest.
Right, me too.
I mean, whether it's Packers, whether it's 49ers, who are struggling, man. 49ers?
Yeah.
What?
1-2.
But I'd rather see somebody fresh in the Super Bowl when we get there, and just forget the whole Seahawks thing.
Yeah, forget
43-8, 26-20 in overtime.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's get to the big game, and I'd rather see somebody else.
I agree. Thanks for joining us. We'll be here every Monday after the Broncos game to talk about the team. We hope you'll join us. And, hey, I'm going to leave you with this. Bye-bye.